Hey, it's me, your girl Charlene, coming to you on a Thursday afternoon. Nice day. Sunshine today, yay. You know what? I really celebrate the weather, whether it's sunshine or rain, but today it's nice. It's actually warm today. No jackets needed, no sweaters. But I'm coming to you on a nice day and just hoping that you're doing good. So today I really want to talk quickly about fear. What are you afraid of? What are you most afraid of? So many of us have fears, whether it's about something that we can see, touch, feel, or something that maybe it's not so visible, but maybe, for example, like tomorrow, a fear of future, fear of failure, fear of, there's so many fears that we have as humans. I When my mother died in 2016, I felt as though she took away most of my fears. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? Losing a parent. And when she departed from this dimension, most of my fears went. Then my brother died 2 years ago, and to see my brother, who I grew up with, he was less than 60 year old. He was like 2 years shy of turning 60, and when I actually witnessed his body on the hospital bed, he looked peaceful, but there were a lot of mixed emotions when I saw him. And I remember thinking, oh my God, so this is death. This is it. This is the final stage of our physical lives. I do believe that spiritually we never die. And then I started to look at fear and the things that I'm most afraid of. And there is very little that I'm afraid of, to be quite frank with you. But I recently had a health scare, and I was afraid, and I was primarily afraid because I didn't know exactly what was happening. And I also became more fearful because I wasn't ready to leave this dimension. I feel as though there's so much more for me to do. Plus, I have two princes and I don't want to leave them. I mean, I'm going to go eventually, but I didn't want to leave them at this point in their lives or in my life, because I just feel like my work here, there's plenty more for me to do. So as I think about fear and, some of the things that we are afraid of and some of the things that I am afraid of, because although I have very little fear, I am still fearful of some things, and I think maybe that's just natural for us to have fears. Of course, a lot of our fears are rational, and as we know, there are so many different. The word fear is considered an acronym for false evidence appearing real, and there are so many other ways that people have used the acronym fear to help us to reduce being afraid. I really, I'm not afraid of most things. I'm not afraid of most of whatever it is that life presents. Of course, we tend to look futuristically. Most humans do. We want to look ahead and what's to come and what we want to do, and we want to make sure that some of our plans come to fruition, and we are afraid that they may not, or we are afraid that sometimes we are afraid that if they do, we may not be able to handle some of them. And as I just look at the word fear and what it represents, it really has very little place in my life. I feel that most of the things that I was afraid of have already taken place. I have seen myself conquered a lot of my fears. I have defied a lot of my circumstances that would probably present fear to me. And so I don't really feel as if, I have many fears left. I've been called brave, courageous, strong, you name it. This is how people perceive me. This is how they see me, and most of my friends will say that about me. And yes, I am brave, strong, courageous, and all of that, but I still have my own fears, and I still have things that, I get a little anxious about. But overall, I'm just not someone who invites or tries to make fear a part of my life. I'm really a fearless person. I am, if, in general. So I don't know what fears you have and why you're afraid. And maybe if you examine some of the reasons why you're afraid, you'll find that a lot of your fears are irrational. And they're based a lot on how we've been conditioned socially, culturally, and sometimes there are fears that are gender specific. Women may be afraid of things differently from men, and all of that. However, fear is it's sometimes, honestly, so unreal and so unmanageable, that if we are not careful, we can become paralyzed by fear. So I'm just sharing with you how I see fear and how I've managed to reduce fear, because I've come to a knowing that a lot of the things that we are afraid of, we cannot control. Like the future, like sometimes even the past. Some people are afraid of the past. I guess they don't want to see a repeat of things that have happened in the past, especially things that maybe have brought them some anxiety or pain. So fear really, it's irrational for the most part. We tend to worry. We are people who as a species, humans, we worry about things that we can't control. And I guess, like I said, some of these fears have a lot to do with how we've been conditioned, how we've been raised, the society we've been raised in, and sometimes just what we see around us, what we've witnessed or experienced in our lives, in our family, among our friends. So if there's something that's holding, or I should say, if fear is holding you back from doing something in your life, examine it, look at it, see if it really has any place, see if you can control it. And if you can't control it, try and slowly let it go. I'm not going to tell you to just get up and be unafraid, because it took me years. Some of the things that I've done in my life, I'm telling you, some people would not have even ventured. And I guess those having gone through those things, having experienced those things, have created for me less reasons to be afraid. And that is how I've come to this point in my life where I'm really fearless. I'm fearless, to be honest with you. There's so many stories that I could tell you about my life, and some of the things that would probably make some people cringe or want to just forget it. But I continue to be fearless, and I hope that you too can look at the things you're afraid of and try and find ways to acknowledge them first and foremost, and see what place they have in your life. And if they have no place in your life, let them go, my dear. Let them go and move on and enjoy your life, and don't let anything burden you so you can't enjoy a sunshine when it's there, or the rain or snow, or whatever you're experiencing in the environment. Just let it go and just live. This is, my message is always about living, because living is so important to me. and living fearlessly has become most important to me. So, hope something that I said, touched you in some ways. And I'm going to leave you with peace, with love, and I'm going to ask you to take care of yourselves. I rarely say like, subscribe, share, and someone pointed it out to me again the other day. So do like, subscribe, and share if you feel so inclined. Thank you for listening. Take care.